virtual conference, and I'm going to introduce the panelists on advocacy. Reverend Imad Haddad from the Evangelical Lutheran Church in Jordan and the Holy Land, Mr. Godfrejów-Tarnogórska from the Evangelical Lutheran Church in Tanzania, and Ms. Agnieszka from the Lutheran Church in Poland. We'll have in the panel today Reverend Imad and Mr. Tarnogórska, and we'll have later a pre-recorded video from Ms. Agnieszka, who is unable to join us due to the connection network challenges. We'll begin with a few questions. We'll have 3 questions altogether, and I'm going to start with the Reverend Imad, and you'll get 2 minutes. What's your most important goal and the most important challenge in your advocacy work in your church?
Thank you. Living in the Middle East, the most important challenge before our eyes now is all the struggles that are in the Middle East, which are basically calling for denying the other and extremism and fear. That is our challenge, and our goal is to call for a moderate living, moderate thinking, and accepting the other, a culture that we are striving for.
Thank you very much, Reverend Imad. And to you, Mr. Tarnogórska, what's your important goal and the most important challenge in your advocacy work in your context?
Of course, the goal of our work here is to have those whom we find denied the opportunities which are vividly opening up in this part of the world, in Africa, where we see that the economies are booming, but on the contrary, poverty is deepening. You can see people in deep levels of hunger, poor health and diseases, yet we find a big gap of the haves and the have-nots, what we term as the economic injustice. So this is the goal we are working on, so that we can uplift these people to realize the opportunity which are unfolding. However, the challenge we find is having a common language whereby people may take up the position, not to wait and think of being given. You know, we have been subjected to handouts, partners from all over the world, donors coming to support us, and this doesn't give us a meaning of upliftment. Even in the Bible, when Jesus wanted to support or cure, that person who was being targeted had something, had the capacity, though may not be able to come up, but they had the capacity. So it's more of opening up opportunities for the target groups and having the upliftment.
Thank you very much, both of you. And now we are moving to the second question. Back to you, Reverend Imad. Are there concrete examples on how, in your tradition of advocacy work in your church, how are they transformative? Some of in your tradition, are there some concrete examples that are showing that they are transformative? Please.
Yes, well, I think what we use vividly and moreover is education. Education is a very powerful tool of advocacy. We raise a generation who is able to understand the other and accept the other, and together work for a better situation. One very small example is what we do in our schools when celebrating the Reformation. We gather all the schools, the Lutheran schools, and then we celebrate the culture of Reformation. But we focus on one very important question: what does it mean for me to live Reformation today, and how can I be in my society some person who works to reform a society? And through that, we teach the mindset of moderate people and of people who are able to see the other as they want to see themselves.
Thank you very much, Reverend Imad, and back to you, Brother Kalugendo. Are there concrete examples on how, in your tradition of advocacy in the church, what are the concrete examples that are transformative?
Thank you. Since I'm also trying to share with you the experiences of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in Tanzania, one is about how we were involved in the debt cancellation campaigns, whereby you involve yourself in the policy reviews and then try to show how much the debt burden has been affecting the poor. That was one whereby ELCT took the lead, the Evangelical Lutheran Church in Tanzania took the lead to come up with a coalition on debt, Tanzania Coalition on Debt and Development. And we demonstrated, I remember, that even if we were to pay all the debts, every Tanzanian would go to the grave indebted with about $56. So this was one way of trying to work on the policies which they don't augur well to kind of support the poor. But for the contemporary, what we are trying to do is look at policies which are there, but they are not working to open up opportunities for the poor. For example, currently we are working on the Comprehensive African Agriculture Development Program, whereby the governments in Africa have ratified, they agree with the policy or the program. But what we are trying to get the churches involved in is about getting the space to open up markets for agricultural produce, because the government, they are interested not really in having food for the poor, but having kind of an economy whereby the agricultural sector would contribute to the national coffers. But for us who are doing the advocacy, we want to see people getting food. So what you do is trying to analyze the resources which are available and steer those resources towards the poor. Another area is about the maternal and child care, whereby the politicians, more so, they are looking for votes. But what we do is to use those forums for fundraising and getting the support for the poor mothers and the children who may not get that chance. And another area is about sharing. Even last Sunday here, we identify a place here in Arusha where people could not get good rains, so they are in hunger. So we are using the Sundays to have the offerings practically, so that people, they can contribute food and share among themselves.
Thank you.
And the last point, the last point is about water, whereby we use the water committees as the forums for discussing development issues. So when we talk of transformation, is more of, as he said, using education, but taking an action on the field.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We go now to the last question, and please, in this last question, you get only 1 minute each, and let us try to be punctual on time. If you have one piece of advice to other practitioners of advocacy, what would that be? And I start with you, Brother Kalugendo.
Well, I would say that for churches to be more effective in responding to the challenges, we have to indulge into the theological discussions and engage other civil society actors in order to develop the appropriate language and the capacity. The theological gifts or power of understanding the context can easily make people turn their kind of attitudes towards people who are experiencing vulnerabilities.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kalugendo. And to you, Brother Imad, what one piece of advice you have for other practitioners of advocacy?
I would say advocacy is not a one-time occasion or speech. Advocacy is a learning and teaching process, a process that needs long breath. So do not lose heart and keep advocating for a better life under the guidance of God's will. Thank you.
Thank you very much, both of you, and we wish you good day and God's blessings. Thank you.